everyone! It's me, Rebecca, aka Mistress of Destruction on Quotev, and one day I got a thought in my head that I could read my story aloud. So here I am, and I'm reading it to you. So here we go. First couple pages, chapter 1. Let's see. Chapter 1, Discovery. Oh, this is my how did I end up here story. So, one day, Mandy Hopper was closing for her job at Hot Topic. Mandy just locked the cage to the shop, and she felt exhausted after a full, extremely busy night. The store finally got Grumpy Cat plushes, and the people were going crazy after them, for some unknown reason. Mandy loved Grumpy Cat, but she just felt like it was bizarre. Anyways, Mandy was ready to go home. As she was walking out to her car, she saw a shadowy figure approaching her, and honestly, it was freaking her out. She looked back slightly, and it was still following her. She sped up, but then the figure grabbed her arm and turned her around. The shadowy figure pulled Mandy into a dimly lighted area in the parking lot, and she could see his face briefly. She noticed his brawny body and his devilish grin. He had black hair and bright red eyes. Mandy had also noticed that he had a tattoo of a number 2 on his right wrist, and on his left wrist he had a tattoo of an evil smiley face. He was in all black with a long black trench coat. He pinned Mandy onto the blacktop in the parking lot, and Mandy screamed and started to try and fight him off. He slowly pulled out a lengthy-looking sword, and that's when Mandy lost consciousness. Mandy woke up in an unfamiliar place. She didn't even know if it was in a bed. Mandy looked down, and sure enough, she was lying in an unfamiliar bed. It was comfortable, but definitely not the mattress she was used to sleeping in her own one-bedroom apartment. She got really afraid that she might have been kidnapped. At least the room was pretty. It was white-walled with brown furniture, a closet beside the door, and a nightstand beside the comfortable bed Mandy was currently in. Mandy figured she was in somebody's guest bedroom, but the funny thing was that she had just moved to a town by herself because she got kicked out of her parents' house at 18. Mandy didn't know anyone well enough to spend the night at someone's place. She was beginning to wonder whose place this exactly was. Mandy heard a faint knock on her door. Come in? She asked, half curious and half suspicious as to who was on the other side of the mahogany door. This highly attractive, stocky, black-haired, blue-eyed guy came in and smiled at her. He had a My Chemical Romance shirt, black skinnies, and red Vans on. He smirked and said to her, "Ah, looking better. How you feeling?" At first, Mandy had no idea what to say. She then asked him, "Who are you?" "Why, I am Pollux Field. But the question is, who is this lovely girl that I managed to save last night?" he casually remarked, with a friendly but curious grin spreading all across his face. Mandy couldn't help but blush, and she then introduced herself to him. "You saved me last night?" Mandy asked. "Why, of course! I couldn't just let an innocent but beautiful young lady be attacked and possibly killed. Oh yes, 3 of my very best friends also helped save you last night. But for now, I'll let you get back to your sleep. All your questions will be answered later, as soon as you get your rest. Anything I can get you?" Pollux asked her, with a concerned look in his eye. "No, I'll be fine for now," Mandy answered sincerely, with a slight blush. After all, she did think he was attractive. Pollux said all right, and he'd check on her again later. Mandy said okay and thanked him for saving her. He just smiled, nodded, and shut her door. She rested her head on her pillow and fell asleep again, feeling happy that she was saved, not kidnapped. Mandy woke up in the middle of the night, super hungry. She managed to get out of her bed and realized she still had the clothes on from the day before. Ugh, I need something to eat. I'm starving, she thought to herself, but caught her reflection in the mirror before she opened the bedroom door. Her long, straight brown hair was an absolute mess, and she also had incredibly dark circles under her bright blue eyes. Oh God, I look like hell, Mandy thought to herself, frowning at her reflection staring back at her. She noticed that someone had considerably bought her some makeup and a hairbrush. Mandy smiled and thought, wow, that's awfully nice. Maybe it's not too bad being here. She brushed her hair and then put a little makeup on to conceal the dark circles under her eyes. God, I can't talk. After that, Mandy opened the bedroom door and discovered the room was right beside a beautiful spiral staircase with 2 more doors heading to somewhere. Mandy would explore these things later on, but food was more important to her than anything right now. So she headed down the spiral staircase and managed to find this elaborate kitchen. She opened the fridge and found a box of leftover Pizza Hut pepperoni pizza and some bottles of Mountain Dew. She sat down on a bar stool and pulled it up to the kitchen counter. She felt someone staring behind her, so she turned around with a mouthful of pepperoni pizza. Mandy saw a fox behind her. She screamed. Then the fox started talking. Oh, please don't scream. I was just sniffing outside and didn't even think that you would wake up soon. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I am incredibly sorry. Oh no, here, I'll change back. Just close your eyes for a second, the fox pleaded, and so she closed her eyes, but she was still pretty scared as to why this fox was talking and what in the world he would do to her. She heard a whoosh sound and felt a breeze around herself. Her eyes remained closed. Okay, you can open your eyes again, the fox stuttered out, and she opened them again. Mandy saw a guy who looked younger than she did, but he was really cute. He had brown hair, incredible baby blue eyes with a plain red shirt, black skinnies, and combat boots on. He also had a brown beanie on. Sorry about that. I'm Zane. You're Mandy, right? I'm sorry about that. In case you didn't realize, I'm a shapeshifter, he stammered out, looking highly embarrassed about what just happened. Mandy didn't know what to say. She was in shock. A shapeshifter? Mandy always thought that they were just in fairy tales. Yeah, I'm Mandy Hopper. Nice to meet you, Zane. Mandy then shook his hand with a pleasant smile on her face. He smiled and said, nice to meet you, too. Sorry about that. No problem, hun. So who all this here with you and Pollux? Mandy asked him, very curious as to what was going on in this house. Well, there's me, Pollux, Cameron, and Vlad. You'll have your answers and get to meet them later. You should get some sleep, Zane suggested with a smile on his face. Yeah, I should probably get to sleep. Wow, I didn't even know there were shapeshifters. See you later, Zane, Mandy said, got up, and headed back to the bedroom. The fact that Zane was a legit shapeshifter made Mandy wonder if anyone else was a mythical creature in this house. She figured she would get her answers later on, so Mandy went back to sleep. And I guess that's all for right now. Bye!